Rossoneri, and welcome to this new episode of our AC Milan Talk. I'm so excited to come back to our favorite weekly appointment with you. We have plenty of talking points despite the international break, or maybe we can say especially thanks to the international break. But first of all, let me say hello to my two guests, my two friends. Welcome to Adriano Del Monte.
Hello, Licia. Very excited to be back, and you're right, a lot to get through today after the international break.
And welcome also to Sheridan Bird. Hi, Sheridan.
Hi, guys. Nice to see you again. Sorry I can't be with you, but I'm sure we can have a lot of fun today discussing everything.
So let's start, guys, because there's never a lack of news here at Casa Milan, especially for Stefano Pioli's lads. So let's start, as always, with our men's first team. It was a very positive week for AC Milan with very important and positive news because among Stefano Pioli's lads, many were in action with their national teams. Obviously, we are going to focus on the most important, the best and most decisive performances, like for example, let's start with Rafa Leao, who with his Portugal in the friendly match against Sweden took the center stage and found once again the top corner like he did in the match against Slavia Prague, Adriano.
We say top corner like it's very easy. Rafa Leao with a wonder goal for Portugal. Of course, interesting time for all of these countries coming into preparations for Euro 2024. And for Portugal, that first friendly against Sweden, Rafa Leao, 45 minutes. And continued the great form that we've seen, goals like that. Not too many players in world football can do that, and Rafa can do that consistently, and he proved that for the club, he's proved that for his country, and certainly I think a very exciting end to the season for this player individually, with the club, domestically, Europa League, and obviously with the Euros to come. But a player, look, we love to watch play at his best, as good as any player in world football. And to make his mark at international level, we know Portugal will be one of the favourites going into that tournament. Well done to him, and hopefully we see plenty more of that in the remaining months of the season, Licia, for Milan.
Sheridan, a very important result for his career.
Yeah, and it really feels as if he is coming into form at the right time. And, you know, obviously our Portuguese friends and fans would have loved that goal he scored for them. But likewise, if he's just starting to click into gear, if he's beginning to feel good physically as it comes to the very, very important phase of the season, everyone's a winner.
But not only Rafa Leao, because was also Tijani Reinders, who drew crazy Netherlands with his incredible performance against Scotland and bagging a goal, which he himself defined the best he ever scored in his career to date, Adriano.
Well, he knows it best, and it was a man of the match performance, and great to see his club form translate at the national team level. And of course, for he and the Netherlands, they'll be hopeful of winning the European Championships this summer. If he can play a key role and continue to perform like that for his national team, well, he's only going to go from strength to strength. So he's been a very important player, a very important acquisition for Milan this season, and great to see him get that reward for effort and put in another strong performance like that.
We have prepared also a resume with the most important results for our Rossoneri, the Rossoneri International, and we talked about Leao, Reinders, but also the American couple with Christian Pulisic and Musa, who coming back with the third consecutive CONCACAF Nations League title with the USA, and the French couple with Giroud and Theo. Giroud got on the score sheet in the friendly match against Chile, and Theo Hernandez was decisive with an assist. Sheridan.
Again, it's just fantastic that the players, their engines are starting to run smoothly and everything is looking sharp. Giroud is a pillar of this French team, which has done so well. Theo is becoming one of the top left-backs in the world. I don't think anyone's arguing about that. And also, to see Musa and Christian Pulisic win a trophy with the United States. We want trophies, we want winners, so let's hope it's the first of many for Christian Pulisic and Musa this season. It's great to have people who are, let's say, close to silverware. It's great to have winners in the squad.
But now let's change topic because they're returning to Milanello and building up to Fiorentina versus AC Milan, because after the very important win against Hellas Verona, now the aim is to keep the run wins going, and we know very well that against the Viola is never an easy appointment, also because this fixture was played 84 times in the past, 33 wins for them and only 26 for us, Adriano.
Historically, a famous fixture. History, we don't always need to focus on numbers here. I love numbers, but this time around we'll look on the pitch. Look, this will be a nice welcome back to Serie A and the start of these last couple of months of the campaign against a team in Fiorentina who, let's respect them, but a team who are not in the same vein of form that we saw towards the end of last year. Coming into this calendar year, they only have a couple of wins in Serie A in the opening months of the season. You can see there a trip on Saturday night to Firenze to take on this team. They are one of two teams, Lice, in Serie A who are still in 3 competitions as well. So there's a lot going on for La Viola. But look, this is another opportunity. As Sheridan said, I think it's a really important point. Players coming in, winning trophies, performing, scoring, assisting. That's going to do them the world of good as the squad gets back to near full strength now. We'll see a team full of confidence in a match that we know, look, that battle for European places for next season is heating up, and this is a very, very important 3 points that are up for grabs. But look, I'm confident off the back of the performances we've seen in the international break. Pulisic, for one, he's scored in his last 4 games for Milan before the international break. I think there's a lot of signs to suggest that this is going to be a tough one, but a match that certainly 3 points are possible.
Of course, we have prepared a focus on our number 15 as a new Rossonero and a former Fiorentina player. Sheridan, do you remember that during the last season he heavily featured one of the 2 goals at the Franchi against AC Milan?
I remember following relatively closely Luka Jovic's career, and we've always known that he has got fine predatory instincts, but and he scores goals everywhere he goes. Thankfully, those goals he scores now are in a red and black shirt, guys.
And Adriano, a little comment about his growth in Rossonero.
Look, we've spoken about Jovic in recent months, and it's great to see, and we know that his value and his significance to this team will only increase as time goes on. It's a player that the club strongly believe can be a key focal point in attack for a long time to come, for many years to come. And we've discussed making the most of opportunities. Obviously, he hasn't played 90 minutes in every match that he's featured in, but it's taking those opportunities, making the most of them, and scoring and doing what he does best. So hopefully another one this weekend, but many more to come with an eye on the future, and this player can be a key part of it.
Let's change topic, taking a step back, but in the same time taking a look to the future, because we are talking about Europa League. The performance, the great performance against Slavia Praga, the Eden Arena gave us a place in the quarterfinals of this competition. Sheridan.
It was a good performance, as you say. Slavia Prague showed quality in both matches throughout the 180 minutes. And we must remember that they had players sent off early in those matches. Now, they were sent off for a reason, because the referee deemed it a red card offence, but still, they showed spirit and they showed determination. So I don't think we should underestimate this result, and we at AC Milan Talk certainly aren't underestimating it. But I think it was a really good sign of how Milan are starting to find their, if I can call it, Euro groove.
And talking about the Europa League, the next up will be the first European one against Roma. So a historical moment, but also an interesting match considering their positive period.
No, I love this tie. I would love to know what fans think about it, but this is a European tie. Milan-Roma, quarter-final of European competition. If we've looked at the draw as well, the other half of this bracket by Leverkusen, West Ham United. So regardless of who goes through, there's going to be a really strong semi-final tie. We know the other 4 teams, the other half of the draw, a lot of quality there as well. But Milan-Roma, home and away, not too much travel for the team as well, not needing to get on a plane and fly to another country. I love this tie, and we love European nights, and look, can't wait to be a part of it. But it will be tough. Of course, Roma are improving under their new manager in De Rossi, but again, Milan with the pedigree, the experience, particularly of last season in the semi-finals of the UEFA Champions League, full of confidence coming in with that near full-strength squad as well.
Adriano, there's a big news because after more or less 30 years, AC Milan will come back to Australia after the most recent was in 1993.
A long time ago. Sheridan, you remember 1993 very, very well, but this is very exciting news because obviously Australia, where I was born in Melbourne. The match will be played on the West Coast in Australia in Perth. And I can tell you, I've spoken to the organisers in Australia, the anticipation, the excitement about Milan and Roma coming, two big Italian clubs coming. Don't underestimate the support, particularly for Milan in Australia, even the Asia-Pacific region. In Australia, we have Milan club fan supporter groups all over the country. My city, Melbourne, have a massive one. Sydney, Adelaide, of course, Perth as well. So there's going to be so much support for the Rossoneri there. And in the Asia-Pacific region entirely, there are over 2 million fans who support this club. So we look here in Italy, we look at our stadiums, we see them full, but we need to think about as well the fans all around the world, those fans who are watching this program and enjoying our coverage of the club, because they'll be rewarded with this great opportunity to see their heroes and stars up close and personal, and it's going to be a great spectacle. And look, hopefully more to come, because there are just so many fans out there who would love to get a glimpse of this club.
A very important appointment for AC Milan versus Roma in Australia, but it's a rainy week here in Milan. We are waiting for holidays, summer, for July, August period when our men's first team will be off to the United States of America on a pre-season tour, the 2024 Soccer Champions Tour, alongside Barcelona, Real Madrid, Chelsea, Manchester City in host stadiums across New York, Chicago, New Jersey, Orlando, and so on. So it's great, Adriano.
There's a lot to look forward to. I've just come back from New York myself. I was there for a week. Lecce, for me, one of the best cities in the world. But look, again, an opportunity for the many fans of Milan in the United States, across different cities, to get a look at this team. Obviously, with Pulisic and Musa there involved as well, it's just wonderful to have this opportunity, and for the players to show their love and gratitude to the fans who support them from across the globe. This is the world game. It's the world game for a reason. Milan, always one of the very biggest clubs to ever exist in this game. So it's a wonderful opportunity just to get out there and show these fans some love.
Also because Sheridan, AC Milan is the most loved of Italian clubs in the USA, with more than 43 million fans. So
not bad.
It's okay.
It's going to be absolutely amazing going to Australia, then going to America, a chance to touch base, to meet the new fans. And I think the fans are really going to enjoy it. It's going to be a wonderful, warm summer, a chance to make new friends. And just to tell you, Adriano, I do remember 1993. I was just a baby. I was an 18-year-old baby, but I do remember it.
Good man.
So guys, that's all for our men's first team. Now let's move on with our women's team. It was a dominant performance from our Rossoneri against Pomigliano. It ended 4-0. Courtside resumed their season the best way possible, as the Dompig, Ige and Vigilucci got on the score sheet.
It's a good return to league action. We know that it's been a difficult campaign, a change of manager, and obviously now playing in that bottom half of the table, but a very convincing 4-0 win. And Sheridan and I discussed it in the recent program that these upcoming fixtures against Sampdoria, Como, Pomigliano, as we get towards the end of the season, just super important to finish the season strongly, finish the season atop of this second half of the table, and move into next season, again, with that same winning form, that winning mentality there as well. So, look, it is what it is at the moment. A 4-0 win is a convincing display against a Pomigliano team who are obviously fighting for relegation there, but very, very strong performance, and hopefully another 7 of these before the season concludes.
And Sheridan, next up will be the one against Como. What we should expect from it?
I think we should expect, but we should also hope for another excellent performance, because they played really well at the weekend, and it still feels weird, it feels wrong reading that Milan Femminile are in the salvation pool and not fighting for the title, but we've had to accept that and get on with it. But what they showed at the weekend was really good. There were some really good reactive goals. There were some good proactive moves by the Rossonere. And there's no reason to believe the weather was nice and sunny as well, which seems like a long time ago. But it was a good performance. And as Adriano says, I completely agree. Finish the season on a high. Hasn't gone as we wanted it. Just get on with it, accept it, and just try and score a load more goals and have fun.
And Adriano, this could be considered a new little start for this final part of the season.
For sure, absolutely. And look, Como this weekend as an opponent in the earlier meeting in Como earlier in the season, it was a 0-0. Also, the match here in Milan was a hard-fought win. So, an opportunity to improve on those performances and just take more confidence from this new mini start going into next season, I think will do the manager and the core group of players the world of confidence going forward. So, look, it is what it is, not ideal. We'd prefer to be fighting for the title and Champions League places, but make the most of these remaining fixtures. And let's not forget as well, that Serie A match against Pomigliano was the first league match that the girls had played in almost 6 weeks because of the break and missing a match as well. So there has been a bit of a break. The Coppa Italia was in there as well, semi-final appearance against Roma. So look, not all doom and gloom. It's been a lot of positives to take away, but certainly a strong finish is very important going into next season.
So keep it up, girls, and now let's start our focus on our under-19s. After our better side got back on winning ways in the league against Lazio, now and after the international break, now it's time for a tricky match, the one against Juventus on Monday.
I know that Sheridan has been more excited than anything today to talk about his boys coming up, because what a period since we last met for this team. Obviously, domestic action. We know that there was a bit of a tough stretch where a lot of players were moving into the first team, a couple of injuries, a couple of issues, and taking on some really strong opponents in the Primavera. And look, a good result against Lazio, who have been very strong in their own right this season. Now Juventus, the tough tests continue, but there's so much to look forward to, because there's still, look, not too much distance between Milan and the top, but the Youth League is obviously where the focus will turn to very shortly. But look, Juve, another good test against another strong team. Just so excited for the young men, where they're at, where their development's at, and where Mr. Abate has taken them from last season. But of course, the Youth League and what's to come couldn't be any more exciting for the club now going into these final weeks of the season.
Sheridan, about the Youth League, Abate's side will continue to dream and to make us dream, because the great performance against Real Madrid gave us a place in the semi-finals of this Youth League campaign.
Yes, it was a fabulous match, and it was an even match. In the first half, we have to be honest, Real Madrid, I would say, dominated, but Milan managed to pull it back, and it took it to penalties. And Noah Ravaier did the business, saving some crucial penalties. Milan scored theirs too. There's Giancarlo Simic just looking very nonchalant, looking very cool. Confident young man, let's say that about Giancarlo. And then Real Madrid missed a fatal penalty, and it was just a really good European performance, because Real are a great side and it wasn't easy. And in the first half, as I said, they put Milan under pressure. But Kevin Zeroli, Captain Fantastic, scored the winning penalty. There was a bungle, everyone just dived on top of each other. Look at that, brilliant, no one got hurt, thankfully. And then when they all got up, they said, okay, now it's time to go back to the semi-finals of the UEFA Youth League. So job done, and it's a bright future.
Yeah, on 19th of April against Porto, but this team doesn't want to stop for anything or anyone.
And so they should. And of course, the only semi-finals from last season who were back in the semi-finals again this season in the UEFA Youth League. That is an incredible performance, an incredible achievement for Mr. Abate. But now it's time to go one better than they did 12 months ago. And of course, it's a Final Four in Switzerland, where they will play against Porto, Olympiacos and Nantes in the other semi. And then 3 days later will be the final. A massive opportunity here. Porto taking care of some really strong opponents over the way as well. Must be respected. Beat Barcelona 4-0 away from home in the group stage. But this Milan team, having eliminated now Real Madrid, go in full of confidence, and let's hope for the very best. But what an exciting time for these young men.
So we come to the end of this episode, but we have one last piece of breaking news for AC Milan fans because there is a new way to communicate, engage, interact. AC Milan launched its official WhatsApp channel, New Planet in the Rossoneri Galaxy. The step of following and activating notification is essential to not miss any message within the chat, because the Rossoneri will receive daily videos, photos, audio, news, obviously. So subscribe now. Have you subscribed?
I'm doing it right now.
Yeah.
I'm just
okay.
going to...
Sheridan?
Yeah, I'm doing it.
Very well.
Right now,
Very well.
and I'd like hopefully Adriano will be doing some singing on the app as well. That's something that fans will obviously enjoy, or maybe not, who knows. Check the app out to discover.
So guys, it's available and waiting for you. Thanks to Adriano Del Monte.
Grazie, Alice. Always a pleasure.
Thanks to Sheridan Bird. See you next week.
Thank you, Licia. Great to see you. Great to see Adriano as well.
And dear Rossoneri, thanks for following us. See you again next week, as always, on our AC Milan Talk. Ciao!